is a Komarin match on Komarin, everyone's least favourite fucking map. Platooned up with Alleviated Risk in his 416 Pancake and Southern Dandy in his Roomba. This match I decided instead of going mid as a top tier heavy, I would do the Ethan spotting run, which is to go down to D4, D5-ish, and D4 or E4, sorry, and spot across. Komarin has 400 base view range, I believe, which is pretty good at tier 8. So that was the rationale behind this. Those of you who have known Father's Sound mod can probably tell I'm still running the Meteor engine on this. I don't have the top engine unlocked. Now, reason for that was, I unlocked the Conqueror first and then went back and unlocked that engine from the Conqueror because I already have the Conqueror's top engine from the Centurion. So I saved myself a little time on the Conqueror grind, basically. So I now do have the top engine. I also finally have 6 sets on this crew, which is now my Conqueror crew. So nothing spotted actually. They aren't pushing the west as hard as I expected them to. That or all the tanks over there have really good camo. So I decide I should probably move to middle and deal with that super Pershing before he dunks on our entire team. In hindsight, I probably should have just gone middle from the start, especially when I realised our other heavies weren't doing it, but hindsight, etc. Had I done that though, the guys in the east probably wouldn't be getting dunked on so hard by Artie, because these two pricks here are spotting them over and over. So Super Pershing reveals himself first, manages to get a shot into me. Unfortunately, the Komarin and Conqueror, neither of them have much hull armor. And this Super Pershing is able to just DPM the shit out of me, because he fires about as quickly as I do. Thankfully, our SU-101 finishes the job. I took way too much damage in that engagement, way too much. So I definitely could have played that better. This guy charges at me and manages to track himself like a complete genius. And the 101 once again helps me out. So my first snapshot of the STA misses and gets his attention. He also misses though, that, and I'm hull down, so he'd have trouble penning me anyway. And I kill him with a fire. So now I can finally think about moving into this middle spot here. You can see I'm trying to position so that as I crest I'm completely behind the rock. Because I really don't want that T-69 getting any shots on me. Push in here. The guys down south spot the Tiger. That wasn't me because there's a hill in the way. Unfortunately, the Black Prince gets absolutely shit on by that Shure email. Take a quick snapshot of the T-69. You can probably tell I was auto-aiming that because I just didn't feel like I had time to manually aim it. It was a mistake, but I did at least get him. I informed my platoon mates that the enemy Jackson is firing HE and therefore probably not a threat. Although Risk has already been killed and Dandy is in a Roomba, so actually it is a threat to him. I thought maybe I could climb just far enough up that hill to get shots on the AMX M4, but no, turns out I can't. So I cautiously poke around. I'm trying to spot this tiger, but I'm having trouble doing it because he's in camouflage. So I pull back a minute. I can tell our T-43 and SU-101 are about to spot him fairly soon, when he starts shooting at them, presumably. So I just get set to roll out and pop him in the side. And there he is. Managed to get one shot into him, he dips a bit low. And then my second shot is not very well aimed at all. SU-101's getting hit by something else. It's a 5100, hiding in the back of the forest somewhere. Fire a blind shot at the M36's last known position, but you can see it hit the ground behind, so he's not there. Or at least I wasn't aiming well enough. You can actually see most of the shots from the super poaching that Penny came through at an angle because I was giving him slight armor. It was just bad play on my part. I should have pointed my front at him. Or simply found another way to engage him. So the M36 gets lit. I roll out, take the shot, but it goes under his tracks. And then the Sturmill's lit. So I take a shot at him. He gets absolutely wrecked by our team. I get set for a blind shot, and sure enough, I managed to kill him. Now the big scary thing for me is that AMX 5100 hiding in the forest. That's what really worries me. I'm not worried about their T-32, because he probably wouldn't even know where to aim at this thing. I'm not really worried about the AMX M4, even though he has a decent gun. Not even worried that much about the IS, even though he actually one-shot me if he high rolls. I'd also just like to point out that this is in fact exactly what a Rolls-Royce media sounds like. So no father did a really good job there. It's absolutely perfect. So it's just turning into a bit of a waiting game now. As in me waiting for our IS-6 to spot things. And there we go, something spotted. So get a quick shot into his side. See, he's trying to move behind cover in that village there, so I just start trying to destroy it. But I think what he was behind there was indestructible. So the AMX is clipping into the Ferdinand by the sounds of things, but we still can't see him. So I decide to take a bit of a risk and roll up here. See if I can spot him myself, which I cannot, but RIS-6 is unfazed and moves forwards to spot himself. You see, I have a bad habit of not sitting still and letting my camera start up. It's just because I do not like sitting still. I'm paranoid about Artie and paranoid about people, you know, having easy shots on my weak points. So, although I decry pubbies for driving back and forth, I will do it quite a bit too, just out of habit. The difference between me doing it and pubbies doing it is that pubbies do it while they're trying to aim, and they miss their shots as a result. It's also a good indicator of how impatient I'm getting. The longer a game goes on, the more I start moving around, just for movement's sake. So the T-32, who's been camping there all game, doing nothing, finally gets lit. And fires his gun once. I think that may have even been the first time he'd fired his gun all game, I'm not sure. Certainly wasn't being any help to his team in that forest. And then Dandy manages to take him out right after he gets a second easy kill in a low health tank. I thought I was burned here, but thankfully both Artie didn't shoot at me, just one. You can actually see here on the back right side of the Komarin, by the main exhaust muffler, there's a smaller exhaust. That's for the auxiliary power unit, small engine inside the main engine compartment. The Centurion model should have one of those too, but for some reason it doesn't. Auxiliary motors used to power the electrics, the turret and so on when the main engine is not running, just to save on fuel. And then I do finally get shotgunned by Artie. Thankfully we still have two Artie, and we do also have Dandy, who is going to charge in and clean things up. Don't know what that Ferdinand was talking about there, but nothing that makes any sense to me. It's not a bad game, not the best, but any Komarin game that ends in a win and not a draw is better than nothing.